Are you wondering who's going to serve at your church this weekend? Have you had a bunch of people call in sick or call in from being out of town this week? Maybe you have 5 roles to fill, but you only have 1 person to fill them. What are you going to do? Finding volunteers can be super hard, but believe it or not, at our church, we had close to 90% of the people volunteering. Stick around and I'll show you how to get there. Hey guys, I'm Curtis Riley from The Real Rileys. We're not real like a big deal, but real in the sense that we're real people with real problems. We are one family with many channels and multiple channels, so please check them out at therealrileys.com. We've got channels on ministry, we've got channels on how-tos, we've got channels on faith, on marriage, on online business, so make sure to check them all out. This specific channel is focused on real church, real worship, and real preaching. And we also offer coaching, we offer online courses, we offer church consultations, and more. So check it out on our website, therealrileys.com. And would you do us a favor and like this video and subscribe to our channel? That helps YouTube know that you're enjoying it. And just for stopping by, we wanted to give you a free gift, a free mini course that you could check out, and it includes the PDF of our sermon outline guide so that you'll never get stuck again. You can find the link in the description below. Now let's get started. I want to share with you my top 15 ways that you can get more volunteers in your church, and I'm going to save number 1 for the last. Number 2, some people respond to opportunity. This means saying, hey, we've got an opportunity for you to volunteer. Some people are going to say, hey, I love that. You can kind of cast the vision of, well, it's an opportunity for you to change someone's life, to invest in someone else. And they love the idea of being used by God and having that opportunity. Number 3, some people respond to a need. A little bit different. And sometimes you can combine the way that you present these ideas, but some people, you say, hey, we really need someone. We don't have anyone else to do this. We need you. Some people will say, hey, that's me. Sign me up. Some people respond to bribery. Say, hey, anybody wants to volunteer with the kids, you get a free ticket to heaven. That's a joke if you didn't get it. Number 5 is signs. You can post throughout your building and say, hey, we've got opportunities here. We've got a need here, however you want to present it, and say, hey, we're looking for people to volunteer in these areas. Post them in your building. Number 6 is emails. Hopefully you communicate with your people through email, but utilize that. Get their emails and send them an email and say, hey, let me tell you about some of the opportunities or needs that we have in our church. Number 7 is small groups. You can have your leaders announce that, hey, there's an opportunity or a need here. And not only that, but they'll hear other people talking about it in their small groups. If you have discussion questions for your small groups, you can lean them towards that and say, hey, here's how I serve. How do you serve God and the church? Number 8 is Facebook. Facebook is so awesome. It's simple. It's free. Make sure you have a Facebook for your church to communicate with your people and say, hey, we've got opportunities right here for you. Hey, real quick, can you do me a favor? And if you're getting value out of this, if it's helpful for you, will you do me a favor and just like this video and subscribe to our channel? That not only supports us and helps us continue to make these videos, but it shows YouTube that you're interested. Number 9 is sermons. As a pastor, it's your responsibility, or the preacher or the main teacher, to preach from time to time and say, hey, God's given you special gifts and abilities and a heart to do things well. So how are you using them? And encourage them and say, you've got to use them in the local church. Number 10 is connect or connection cards. Whatever you use, where you kind of have people fill things out, or maybe you pass them down the road. There's a bunch of different ways that you can do that, but give them an opportunity to say, hey, I want to know more about serving. I want to know more about volunteering, and just give them an easy on-ramp to that. Number 11 is a next steps class. To say, hey, or even if it's just a, hey, about us, where you say, hey, here's what our church is about. Here's one of our core values. We believe that every member and every person should volunteer. Number 12 is life change videos. Something that's really cool. Let's say you want people to help in the children's area. When you share a video that says, hey, look at all the life change that's happening. Look at these kids. Look at this person that got baptized, or whatever it is. They see the life change that comes from that ministry, and it might inspire them to say, hey, I want to be involved too. Number 13 is word of mouth. Just kind of keeping an open ear and saying, like, someone might say, like, well, I used to play the guitar. Ah, you used to play the guitar? Well, you might hear from someone else and say, hey, you've got this talent, you've got this gift. Let me see if I can get you plugged in. Number 14 is a friend. Having a friend invite you and saying, hey, I'm an usher this week. You should come and usher with me. It's awesome. Number 15 is membership, or what we called it was partnership. But saying, hey, if you're going to be a member or a partner of our church, it's a requirement for you to volunteer in our church, to be a part of the local body. And the number one way that you can get more volunteers in your church, from what I've seen, is if a leader or a staff member or a pastor will personally invite them. I've even seen some people where it's like, well, they've been asked to do this, but if the pastor asks them, all of a sudden they're a little bit more willing to do it. But there's something about a personal ask that has a massive influence that'll help people get plugged in and let them be used by God. So hey, be on the lookout for other videos where we might break down some of these concepts even farther. And hey, it's time to get real. I want you to comment below and let us know what are some of the ways that you get volunteers in your church, that you let people be used by God, or what was your favorite one from this video? And if you have specific questions, I would highly recommend joining one of our communities. The link you can find below in the description. And in the community, you have a chance for your question to be answered in our next live Q&A. I want to encourage you before we go to check out some of the other videos that we have related to church and ministry. Or if you want to branch off a little bit, check out some of our other channels and what we have to offer there. Man, I hope you learned something. I hope you had a great time. But until next time, keep it real.